So it's almost been 2 weeks since Georgia won the national title. That's great. I've been enjoying it. It just feels nice to hear your national champion Georgia Bulldogs as a Georgia fan. But it's been very disappointing, and I never thought I would say this. And here's why. Here's why I just find this so disappointing. It's the people 2 weeks later who can't admit that they were wrong about a certain player, and we all know that certain player is Stetson Bennett. I get it. In the moment, when you're in a big time game and you're watching your team and you've seen your quarterback underperform in certain games, then halfway through that game, the national title game, he's not playing well. It's looking like things are about to revert back to its old ways. You're about to see the same outcome you've been saying for years. Yes, emotions are going to start flying. You're going to start saying whatever's on the top of your head. But it's when what really bothers me is when 2 weeks go by and people just can't admit that Stetson Bennett won the national championship. It just blows my mind. It blows my mind. Here's what I'm trying to get at, really. I'm no exception. I admit it. I was saying Stetson Bennett couldn't win a national title. I said that, and I meant it when I said it. But after the game was over, after the emotion started to cooling off and everything, I came to the realization I was wrong. And Aiden, you've seen it a lot. You've been sending me tweets and this, that, and the third of these Georgia fans who just refuse to accept reality that the mailman won a national title, and they're still dogging him. They're still dogging him.
Yeah.
And I get it. At the moment, like I said, when you watch Stetson Bennett, you look at him in 2020. He had 8 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. He had multiple games. Alabama in particular, he threw 3 interceptions. And Florida, when he played him that year, he went like 5 for 16. I get it. He's had bad games in the past. It's hard. When he's playing Alabama in the SEC title game, you see him kind of fall on his face. You're like, oh, well, here we go. We're playing an elite team. He can't win a national title. You say whatever you say. I don't know, and I'm getting so off track. I'm just kind of repeating everything. Go ahead and give me your thoughts and opinion on what really bothers you with Georgia fans, and just go ahead and give us your rundown and why you think Stetson Bennett is better than what people think that he is.
Yeah, even now, fans are saying, why Stetson Bennett, why come back? This is the perfect ending to a story. You can only go down from here. And that's really where people lose me. Like, he didn't get to the point he's at thinking, oh, this is good enough. He was at UGA, goes to a JUCO, comes back. Like, he has that don't give up attitude, So why wouldn't he come back? Why would he pass up on an opportunity to play for the national champions and play under Kirby Smart for one more year? I mean, players are already talking and coaches are already saying how much of a leader he is. Like, he has that locker room under him now. And, for fans and people to be saying it can only go down, like, no, it can't. They could go win another one, which is exactly what he's thinking. And that's his process. And that's what Kirby Smart and every other coach and player on that team is thinking. They want to go win another one. Also, people are saying the quarterback room is going to be stacked. I know they got the number one quarterback in Georgia, and I think the number 2 quarterback in Georgia as well. So they got a lot of, stars and all this other stuff, but they're playing high school coverages, okay? The defense might have a couple guys going Division I, but it's not an SEC defense. Stetson Bennett showed this year, especially in the playoff games. The playoffs, he went 37 for 56, 66%, 537 yards, 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. These are statistics because these stubborn Georgia fans won't listen to anything else. I feel like there's nothing I can say to half of these people to convince them that Stetson Bennett's the man. Even in the national championship in the fourth quarter, he throws the 40-yard touchdown to go ahead. And then the very next drive, throws another touchdown, 15 yards to go up 8. That's intangibles. That is the clutch gene right there. That is who can step up in the biggest situation, in the biggest scenario. You're playing Alabama. They've beaten you every time at this point. And you step up like that. I mean, it's an amazing story, but it shows that, he has the intangibles, clutchness, and he's showing he can do it against the best competition. These are also some records I saw for UGA players and team records. They broke the team record for touchdown passes. Individually, Stetson Bennett has had the highest passing efficiency rating out of any UGA quarterback, 4th in the nation this year at 176. Number 1 average gain per play, 10 yards for a UGA quarterback. Number 1 in yards per attempt. And, just all these statistics, and he's breaking all these records, and people are still so low on him. Um, Here's another quote that's been going around that I think solidifies it all, especially the intangibles thing, that Stetson Bennett has always been a dog, and this is who I want leading my team. I talk about in other videos in the NBA where we're talking about point guards or whatever. If I want my leader to be a dog, I want him to, be a little bit of a savage and a little bit crazy about winning, like Tom Brady and Michael Jordan. I want that. This is what Kirby Smart said in 2017. Has been going around recently. That little quarterback, they call him the mailman. He'll probably never start here, but I'm bringing him on as a walk-on because he's tough as shit. This is in 2017 when nobody knew what Stetson Bennett was. Kirby Smart knew then that he had a dog, and that's the only reason he brought him on. And that mentality is what won y'all the national championship. I don't think JT Daniels in the same situation down in the national championship in the fourth quarter. I don't think he has the cojones to throw that 40-yard ball. So I think Stetson Bennett's the man. He has earned my respect tremendously. I'm a Tennessee fan, so it's in my genes to hate Georgia, but I can't help but root for Stetson Bennett just because he's, like I said, he's just such a dog, and he got those intangibles that a lot of people don't have these days, man. He's a winner in his genes.
And here's the weird thing too. When I criticize a player, or I criticize a player that that plays for my team and he plays underperforms, I'm never gonna root against him. I'm never gonna want him to fail. I always wanted Stetson Bennett to perform great, regardless. Even last year when he was the starting quarterback and a lot of people were doubting him and questioning him because he had all these bad games, I never wanted him to continuously fail so that another quarterback could get the opportunity. I always want to see who's ever in the game succeed, because that means he's winning games. So, and it's just weird to see that people really have said, I hope Stetson Bennett comes out and doesn't play well. That way we can put in JT Daniels. Like, no, you want Stetson Bennett to play well, so we don't even have to get put in that situation in the first place. And I get where a lot of Georgia fans were coming from, me included, before the national title and everything. We want a elite quarterback, like a Joe Burrow kind of quarterback that's going to come in and throw for 300, 400, 500 yards. It would be awesome to see Georgia put up 40, 50 points a game. I get it. I know, like, even now, there's no one that's going to convince me Stetson Bennett's going to come back and put up Joe Burrow numbers next year. No one thinks that. And, as much as it's nice to have, why does it matter if you're winning games? And I feel like a lot of people were questioning that before Stetson Bennett won the national title. But now that he's done it and proven that he can be on a team and win a national title, there is no reason to go against him now. There is no reason to say, okay, well, if we start Stetson Bennett, we're not going to win the title this season. Like, no, he's debunked that theory. He's proven to y'all that he can be a national title quarterback. So let's roll with him until he just completely falls off the edge of the earth, and that's not going to happen. I mean, every quarterback's going to have a bad game. If Stetson Bennett comes back next year and starts and has a bad game, there's no reason to abandon the ship and send him off packing and never see him again. Yeah. The point I'm really trying to make, and I've said this already, Georgia fans, you have to enjoy this national title. There's no reason to spend this time dogging a player that just won it, and you can't enjoy it like that. Just enjoy it. We haven't won a national title since 1980, and it's gonna be hard. You never see this. You rarely ever see this. Alabama did it, but they rarely do it. It's hard to win a national title 2 years in a row. Could Georgia win the national title next year? For sure. Of course they can. They're talented, but it's very hard to do. They're going to get their team, the opponent's best every single week. So with that being said, you can't just go ahead and assume Georgia's going to win the national title next year. It's hard to repeat as champions. Yeah. It's very hard. So enjoy this moment. Enjoy it. Just be happy that we're in the spot and you could go tell people that, yeah, my team won the national championship. Quit going on Twitter just to talk bad about a player. How miserable do you have to be to continuously go on every day and be like, oh, Stetson Bennett's he's not the quarterback I want to see when you just won a national title? You have to be a miserable sack of shit if your team has won a national title and you just still can't even be happy about it. You just want to go dog another person. I don't know. It just blows my mind.
Yeah.
And again, and I'm no saint when I say this. I have said things about Stetson Bennett where I doubted him and questioned his ability to win national titles, and then he proved me wrong. It's just like, I don't know. It just blows my mind, and I still see it today. Aiden, you sent me tweets today. This is the 21st of January, 10 days pretty much after the national title, and I don't know. I don't know what else you wanted to add. I feel like you were about to say something, but I cut you off, so you can go ahead.
No. I was letting you rant. I was letting you get your frustration out as a diehard UGA fan. I understand. It would make me mad. I couldn't even imagine Tennessee winning a national championship and any of our fans complaining about anything. But I mean, it just goes to show you how crazy football is down here in the SEC. It's natty or bust from here on out for UGA. So if Stetson Bennett does come out and play, questionable in the first couple of games, first couple of big games, UGA fans are going to be calling for his head, especially with all the stars they got in their quarterback room. There's going to be egos, whispers, stories getting out if Stetson Bennett starts playing bad, which is completely undeserving of Stetson Bennett, but that's just how it is. But my argument, the players and the coaches are around Stetson Bennett more than everybody. They see him in practice. They see him in the locker room. They see him on campus going to class. They see him in class. They know this guy better than anybody, and they have nothing but great things to say about him. So I don't see how Schmo Joe, living, up under the mountains right up in North Georgia, can type on it on Twitter bashing this dude when everyone around him, all of his peers, have nothing great to say about him, and then they're calling for JT Daniels to start throughout the season, but obviously he wasn't good enough to get the job. Okay, that's why he transferred, and that's why he didn't take the starting job back when he got hurt. He wasn't good enough. He would have took the job in practice if he was good enough. You know what I'm saying? It's not like Stetson Bennett, like you said, is a Joe Burrow, and that's what a lot of these UGA fans think JT Daniels was going to be, like some superstar quarterback. Like, no, I'm sorry, but if he was that, he would have been dicing up UGA's defense in practice, and they would have been like, hold up, this dude needs to play, and it would have happened.
Exactly. And I'm really curious, like, there have been a lot of people and a lot of reports I've heard, and a lot of people have been really high on Brock Vandagriff. A lot of people are already saying Brock Vandagriff should get the start next year. Let me just go ahead and say this.
You couldn't even say that with a straight face.
And I'm not even going to go ahead and say, I don't know if Brock Vandagriff is better than Stetson Bennett. Kirby Smart, he doesn't even know yet either because they haven't had a spring practice. We're talking about next season. Why are people calling for Brock Vandagriff to start when the dude has thrown one career pass and it was incomplete? You're not at the practices watching Georgia and the practice squad go against the defenses and the scout teams and all that. So why are people saying Brock Vandagriff is better than Stetson Bennett and he should get the start? I just don't understand why people are saying that now. Let's wait until spring and in the summer. Let's watch the spring game. And Kirby Smart's going to make that decision. There obviously is going to be a quarterback battle regardless of what Stetson Bennett did. It would just not make sense. If you have all these 4- and 5-star quarterbacks, you got to let them compete, and you got to play the best player. So Kirby Smart is in charge of doing that. I don't know why these fans all of a sudden are coming out and saying, okay, well, Kirby Smart needs to start this guy and this guy next year. Like, we haven't even been – the offseason's barely started. The spring practice is still a month and a half away. So please stop with the whole, Stetson Bennett should go back on the bench, and now we can play Brock Vandagriff. Like, just stop, okay? Let's make those assumptions and everything after the spring game. If Brock Vandagriff comes out and throws for 400 yards, Stetson Bennett comes out and throws 3 interceptions, then you can be like, maybe Brock Vandagriff is the guy. Brock Vandagriff looked great. Maybe he's the better player. We got to play the best player. We'll get to that point when the time comes.
Here's my thing though, like a lot of these backup quarterbacks they're going to get a chance to play in these blowout wins that y'all are going to have in the beginning of the season when y'all are playing in smaller schools. So you're going to get a chance to see some of the backup quarterbacks and what they can do. It's going to be curious to see if Kirby Smart's culture and the program that he's building at UGA can trump desire to go have an NIL deal and be the big guy in a small pond, or the big fish in a small pond, at a smaller school. It's going to be interesting to see if Kirby can keep his quarterbacks in the room, and then, once Stetson's gone, have a true quarterback battle, really set up the future for UGA.
Yeah. But that's pretty much it for this video, guys. It's been getting pretty long. Time flies when you're ranting and having fun. I have fun ranting. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button and comment your opinion on Georgia fans. I know a lot of people have negative opinion on Georgia fans, and as a Georgia fan, it kind of sucks to see how other fans are still acting, because it really, as a fan, you're representing your team. If you're talking to someone speaking for your home team, you want to leave a good impression to where people don't look at you and be like, oh, well, this team's just full of people like this. Like, as a fan, I feel like there's still some responsibility you have, and you have to really be humble. First of all, I mean, I get it. Trash talk's part of college football. You trash talk, yes, but in a way, you can't be obnoxious. And you definitely don't leave a good impression on people when you win a national title and still throw out negative things. And still, it just blows my mind how people can see their team win a national title and just talk bad and negative. Just don't do it, okay? Just don't do it. Just listen to me. Be humble, enjoy the national title, and that's really all I gotta say. I'll see y'all in the next video.